Okay guys, it's been a little bit since my last Palantir video, but boy do I have a great one here for you today. We actually have a new Palantir product called Foundry for Retail, and this is just following just a couple months after Foundry for Builders and then Foundry for Crypto. This announcement for me actually came via a tweet that they posted on their Palantir Twitter. Now let's actually take a look at this tweet really quickly. So, amid supply chain shocks, retailers must be nimble and resilient. Palantir Foundry for Retail delivers clarity in times of crisis, enabling real-time decision that drives competitive advantages. Now, remember that this is not actually like a full-blown out new product for Palantir, okay? This is a template off of Foundry. Why I'm so excited about this product, though, is the fact that this is going after the small to medium-sized businesses. We want templates because whenever we're dealing with the enterprise value companies, we actually have to get full-on manpower to like customize every inch of what they want for their product, okay? It takes a lot of actual time and management, and that's why people consider us a consulting business rather than a tech company. But whenever we have these things like Foundry for Crypto, Builders, and now Retail, it just allows us to sell the product almost like Microsoft sells their 365 Office. The work is already done. It takes 1/100th of the amount of manpower to manage, these software accounts once we sell them. And I don't know who here has seen my 29 reasons to buy Palantir stock video or not. I can post it in the description if you want to see that. But the real reason why I'm bringing that up is the fact that the small to medium-sized businesses was exactly what I said was going to be the catalyst for what makes this stock big, okay? It's going to be the real test to see if they can scale, because you're wanting those customers that have that $5 to $10 million revenue, okay? You sell them these products now and they're going to work with you as they become, the next big tech giants. And this is the exact reason why I love Palantir, is because they're so smart at this. It's probably because they have Peter Thiel, on the board of directors, but it's because they go after these companies while they're small. They also have a massive portfolio of SPACed companies as well, and they're trying to build relationships with them and sell them their Foundry products as well. So not only do they know that their product's amazing and they can get revenue off of selling it to them, but they also create these relationships and get actual equity in these companies that they know they can benefit from their own products. It's so smart. But let's actually jump into what they're offering here for Foundry for Retail so we can understand it a little bit better. So I just quickly want to draw your attention over to the Foundry for Retail page over here, okay? This is where it actually shows their offerings. I want to talk about this paragraph really quickly, and then we'll go into their actual offerings. So I want to read this just really quickly. To win in the new context, retail organizations need near instant visibility into demand and the ability to adapt their promotions, inventory, and operations in real time. That's obviously, super new for a lot of actual companies, but it's not new for Palantir, and it's only getting better. And this is really where we see, their latest product before this was actually HyperAuto. Now, without just going over like an entirely new product, okay, there is a lot of integration with Foundry for Retail and HyperAuto, okay? And I actually highlighted this one paragraph I wanted to talk about. This is their first of a kind contrarian approach to data integration that emphasizes automation and dynamic data pipeline generation to achieve in hours what might take a traditional team months or even years. I love that paragraph because, it really does explain, like, to stay competitive in these hyper growth industries, you're just going to need Palantir or else you're not going to survive. Like, the company as an operating system, they're offering you these products is just going to be a necessity the way that Microsoft was back in the early 2000s. And now HyperAuto is actually an integral part into Foundry for Retail, which they just announced back in November, and now we're seeing products out of it in December. And HyperAuto lies in the software-defined data integration, okay? They have a couple points here I'd like to point out. So today, shocks to supply chain demand have become the norm. Customer preferences now fluctuate at breakneck speeds. To win in this new context, retail organizations need near instant visibility into demand and the ability to adapt their promotions, inventory, and operations in real time. Palantir Foundry enables these capacities by bringing legacy data systems and machine learning into a shared end-to-end environment with a retail organization, data science, and business users. This is just exactly what we said with HyperAuto. That is the HyperAuto portion of the offerings, okay? They're going to say that, we're enabling data integration like none other, faster than we've ever seen it before, and no other company has ever been able to compete, and it might take months or years if you're doing it the old-fashioned way. Then they have intelligent demand forecasting, okay? That screams modeling to me, and they say it right here, intelligent demand forecasting in partnership with Data Robot. This is the company that they actually partnered with, just back in June, a couple months ago, that actually is going to help them with forecasting and modeling. The ability to create like a digital second version of your company and be able to change things on your supply chain and your packaging and every single thing, and put that into the system and say, how does this affect our company? That type of knowledge for a company that's starting to grow, especially hyper-growth companies, is unrivaled anywhere else in the entire world. Let's continue here though. Unite data scientists and business owners with an intuitive end-to-end view of the retail ecosystem. Accelerate the scale, creation, and testing of intelligent demand forecast models and monitor demand models and deploy them directly into operations. This is exactly what I just said, creating a new model of your company, changing some things into the actual, your system, see what works, see what doesn't, and then if they do work and work significantly, instantly put them into operation. And lastly, we have promotion optimization. Okay, there are a bunch of companies that do this, but maybe not as well as Palantir. I'd like to see how Palantir actually does this, but it promotes SKUs for, promotion to purchasers. SKUs are like different items that you might have, in a company. If you sell 3 different t-shirts, you have 3 different SKUs. Leverage intelligent demand forecasts to automatically suggest ideal quantities and allocations, and then manage ongoing promotions and pricing to reduce stockouts and waste. Now, a lot of companies do that. Shopify has a lot of apps that do that for you, but Palantir's a different beast, okay? We had never had a company that's worth $50 billion running in and actually trying to do these types of processes that have, quite the technology that Kathy Wood puts it as 5 years ahead of anyone else, actually trying to do what, Shopify has been doing for the longest time. Another thing no one's really talking about is just the speed at which Palantir is actually being able to innovate completely changes the way they look at their total addressable market. If they can continue to put out new products like HyperAuto and then, expand into these different templates for Foundry, okay, partner with different companies like Data Robot, this is just going to continuously expand what they can do with their company. But the markets right now are punishing really high growth, low profit companies just like Palantir. This is where being a long-term investor becomes absolutely vital, and it's super important that if you do believe in the company, that you don't give up just because the market is telling you one thing. It does not mean that the actual business model or the way that Palantir has been looked at just a couple months ago is any different than today. The only way to invest in a growth company like this with such high total addressable market is to buy and hold and then double down whenever you see fit that, you could potentially lower your average cost and you have the money to do so. If data is the new oil, okay, and no one knows data better than Palantir, then we could have a massive FANG stock on our hands. The same way that we needed chips and, NVIDIA became what it was, I can see that exact same trajectory for Palantir. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. I really appreciate a like and subscribe down below if you want to see more financial content just like this. But until next time, guys, really appreciate you watching. Hope you stay safe trading, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.